as we talk about the subject today of the law of mental progress. You see, one of the things I'm convinced about is that if you're going to move out of just surviving in this world to thriving. See, God doesn't want you just to survive and barely get by. God wants you to be in a mindset of taking over. He wants you to be in a mindset of domination. He wants you to be in a mindset of thriving. Survival means that you're just a little past dead. You're not quite dead yet, but you're on your way. Where thriving means you're living the abundant life that God has destined you to live. And one of the things I believe, in order to thrive in life, you've got to be confident, right? Because in order to move forward, you've got to take massive action. You got to keep moving forward. And years ago, I came to the place in my life where I realized I needed to work on my confidence. And confidence is this inner knowing that you're going to make it, that you can do something, you can achieve something, and that nothing can stop you. And so confidence is really a feeling that radiates from you, and it creates behaviors in your life. And the scripture says, don't cast away this thing called confidence, because confidence will bring you a great reward, according to Hebrews 10:35. Wow. And so in order for us to reap the rewards and to taste the grapes of the promised land, to possess what God promised us, houses we didn't build, taking us to a land of milk and honey, to that wealthy place God has for us, maintaining a spirit of confidence is essential for us to win. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because right now we are in an environment that is full of negativity. Right now we are in an environment where fear has been released in the entire world. People are afraid. People are shrinking back. People don't know what to do. People are worried. People are scared. I'm just telling you right out. People are worried. People are scared. If they're not worried or scared, they're waiting. They're like, well, I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm in a waiting mode. And I'm here to tell you today that is the wrong mindset that you want to have. Because if you continue in being fearful, doubtful, wondering, waiting, wishing, hoping, crossing your fingers, everything's going to be okay, you're going to be in trouble. That's not the mentality that you want to be in if you want to really do something big for God in your life. And that's why I want to talk to you about the law of mental progress. Remember, confidence is a feeling. It's a feeling that you get that causes you to take action. And when you lose your confidence and you surrender it to worry, waiting, fear, you become paralyzed and you don't take action. And if you don't take action, wow, you're going to be in big trouble, because it's the action takers who win, who thrive. It's the people who sit on the sidelines. They're the ones who end up just surviving. Because remember, no matter what, God's always going to take care of you. He always has. And He always will take care of you. But there's a difference between living your life for God and living the abundant life God has for you. That's why in John 10:10, there's a comma. I came to bring you life, comma, and life more abundantly. You choose which side of the comma you're going to live on. Are you going to just survive? I'll take care of you. Or are you going to be on the other side of the comma where you're living an abundant life? That means you have surplus. That means you have more than enough for not just your needs, but to be able to bless other people. That kind of life, an abundant life. One that's free from worry and stress. Because when you have more than enough, you don't feel those negative emotions that paralyze you. When you have more than enough, man, you're able to have the feeling of, man, God, I'm expecting great things, and it's going to continue to get better and better and better. So this is very important for us to understand that we've got to maintain that confidence to give us the right feeling so that we'll behave correctly and we'll have the right attitude that's necessary in this season so that we can thrive instead of just survive. And in my book, Confidence Manifesto, there's a chapter in here that talks about developing the heart of a champion. And I didn't create this quote, but I want to read it to you because I think it's powerful. It says, "Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Choose your words, for they become your actions. Understand your actions, for they become your habits. Study your habits, for they will become your character. Develop your character, for it becomes your destiny." Wow. Wow. So all of us are like, man, I want to achieve God's destiny for my life. We all want that. But when we back everything up, where does it all start? It starts in our thought life. And we've got to be careful of how we're thinking. And that means the outcome of our life is going to be shaped by our mental toughness. You've got to be mentally tough. I'm convinced that we've got a bunch of mental weaklings. People are mentally weak. See, your mental toughness is only tested in a time of pressure, in times of struggle, in times of crisis. That's when your mental toughness is being tested. Struggles, conflict, crisis. Those are all things, watch this, that are beckoning you to arise and display your strength. Oh my. Did you hear that? Tough times that hit your life are beckoning calls for you to arise and display your mental strength. How strong you are. You're stronger than you think you are. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. There is strength deep down inside for you to go through whatever you got to go through in this season of your life. And your crisis, your conflict, your struggle is the call to say, rise up now. Rise up out of this. I remember when I was flat on my back in the hospital and I was told, you have to have open heart bypass surgery, quintuple. I'm like, bam, life punched me in the face. And Rob Thompson called me. I'm laying in the bed. I just heard these words. "Oh, sir, this is so dangerous you could die." I'm like, oh, okay. Rob Thompson called me. His first thing, he says, "Keith, how you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing too well, buddy. I just got some really bad news." And he instantly said, "Keith, listen to me right now." I'm like, "Yes, sir." He said, right now people are watching you. I'm like, yes. And he says, you are going to be strong. You are going to rise up and you are going to get through this. And that's the mentality I want you to have, that you are going to be healed and you're going to get through this. I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's one of the most powerful calls I ever received, because I flipped the switch in my mind. My mind could have gone down this negative bunny trail, right? I mean, and I could have displayed all kinds of fear, anxiety, and worry. And of course, where's that going to get me? Here I am. I don't have, all my arteries are clogged up. Stress is the biggest thing that affects your heart. And I could have went the other way and went down this negative thing, got all stressed out, right? All bent out of shape. And that would have done me no good for my heart, right? It could have caused a serious problem. But right there and then, I understood what I'm teaching you today, the power of mental toughness. The ability that when life punches you, to flip the switch and rise up above it and realize you're stronger than this punch in the face that you've received. Wow. That's why almost every religion on the planet, no matter what it is, will quote Proverbs 23 verse 7. It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Wow. The key of mental toughness. How you're thinking determines how you're feeling, and how you're feeling. You feeling confident? Or are you feeling worried, stressed, and fearful? How are you feeling? Check your feelings. Your feelings are the indicator to what you're thinking. That's why in this season I've been telling my team, guard your thoughts, protect yourself. You got to pay attention to who you're listening to. And I'm warning my team, I'm warning those of you who are following me. You even have to protect yourself from some Christians. That's right. That's right, because some of them, they're down in the negative mully grubs of the world's going to end. It's terrible. And then you got to be careful because, there's probably, I don't know, maybe more than that. There's a bunch of Christians, all you watch is Fox News, and Fox News is, guess what? Their goal, that, the station, politically driven, right? It's like Fox News is politically driven. CNN News is politically driven, right? So the goal of Fox News right now is to make Biden look as horrible as possible, make the economy look as horrible as possible, make everything look as horrible as possible. That's their goal, right? Because because elections are coming up, so you got to make that person. And then when the Republicans are in, what's the CNN News doing? Oh, they got to make the Republicans look as horrible as possible, and the economy as horrible as possible. No matter what the stats are, no matter what's going, you got to make the other party horrible. You got to be careful. That's what I'm telling you. You got to be careful what you're listening to. And I got to come and tell Christians, I know you're in love with your Fox News. But you got to be careful, because if you keep listening to that and taking all that garbage in and how bad everything's going, guess what? You're going to fill your heart with that. You're going to be full of anxiety. You're going to be full of worry. You're not going to see the picture of your future in a correct manner. I don't care what's going on out there. I've got my own economy going on right here and now. Mental toughness. And so, as a man thinketh, so is he. You can't let that stuff inside of you. It'll impact you. It'll impact you in a negative way if you're not careful. Right now, what do you need to do? You need to guard your heart with all diligence. You need to guard your heart, like the scripture says, with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Right? You fill your heart with that. You fill your heart with garbage, and you're going to have garbage feelings, and it's going to produce garbage outcomes in your life. The law of mental progress says this. Watch this. The level of your confidence and the state of your emotions are in direct proportion to your mentality. That's what the law of mental progress says. So if it's important for me to maintain this attitude of confidence, this feeling of confidence, this feeling that says my future is bigger, brighter, and better than my tomorrow. That's what confidence is. It's a hope. You study the word confidence. It's got the word hope in it. Hope, a confident expectation that my future is going to be better than my present. Right? It creates a feeling. Man, my future's awesome. It creates a positive, uplifting feeling, right? So where is that based out of, that feeling? Out of your mentality. That's what the law of mental progress says. And so watch this point. Your emotions or confidence cannot become any stronger than your mental aptitude. So if you say, man, I need more confidence. Do not cast away your confidence. I need more confidence. It cannot rise any higher than your mental aptitude. So if you're not tough and strong mentally, you're never going to be able to maintain the feelings of confidence. Your feelings are what creates your behavior. You behave out of your feelings. And this first thing tells us that unless we work on our mentality, our feelings aren't going to change. The second thing, watch this one. If you do not develop mentally, your confidence and emotional state will be limited. And if your confidence and your emotional state's limited, guess what? Your finances will be limited. Your relationships will be limited. What you achieve in life will be limited because you don't have a strong mental state about you. The next one. The more developed you become mentally, the more you can sustain the feeling of confidence and other positive emotions. So as you develop your mentality, as you begin to dominate and learn how to control your thoughts in the midst of crisis, conflict, and struggle, when you begin to dominate your thoughts, guess what this is saying to us? It's saying that we'll be able to sustain that feeling over a long period of time. So if you're in pursuit of your dreams, right? Your dreams are going to take a period of time to manifest, and your ability to maintain this confident state, this feeling of expectation and anticipation, your ability to maintain those feelings are the key to you being able to achieve it. Because what? It's going to take constant, persistent action over and over and over again in the face of all this negative stuff happening to you. I'm telling you, I know, and I understand this really clear because I'm on an uphill climb. I'm climbing my own mountain for God. All of us are. It's a mountain you're climbing. It's not a slide you're sliding down into. You don't slide down into your dreams. It's a mountain. It's a mountain. You're climbing this thing. And that's why I think it's also important to surround yourself with right people. It's important If you're a married couple, that you climb together, that you work together, that both of you make sure that you're keeping a positive mental attitude about the fact that together as a couple, we're gonna reach the apex of this. We're gonna accomplish this. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it together. So many couples are like, it's amazing. It's like they're not on the same page together. And both of you need to have that mental toughness, because what will happen is, like, well, one will get hit with something, get punched in the face with something, and it's easy that when we get punched in our face to get a little bit off. And that's where you need your spouse to come in and say, come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. The last thing you need is a spouse that says, oh man, it's over, it's finished. Yeah, let's just quit. Let's just give up. No, we need somebody in someone in our life that's saying, come on, man. We're believing for increase. We're going to our wealthy place. Come on, let's push. Let's push. Now, the question you got to ask yourself is, are you that person? Are you that person that's behind your spouse saying push? In the same way, if you're serving somebody else's vision and helping somebody else, you got to ask yourself, is my attitude helping my boss, helping my leader in the midst of when he faces tough times? Because leaders are forging the way. They're pointing the way. And they need you as a support team to support him. And when things don't go right, hey, that's okay. Hey, that's okay. I know I got a beautiful support team. They, when things go wrong, they say, hey, it's okay, man. Come on. That helps me. I need it. All of us need it. We need that support base. We need it from our spouse. If we're leaders, we need it from our team. And there's times when our team needs support. Things get negative. Things don't turn out right. What do they need? Support, man. Come on, get your mind back in the game. Come on. Hey, I know. Hey, it's tough. I know, but hey, we got to take more action. Do it again. Try again. We need those voices. This is called mental toughness. We got to maintain it. So we got to surround ourselves with people who are supporting our vision. And quite frankly, if we have family members, if we have friends that are not supporting us and discouraging us, we got to cut those relationships, right? You got to protect yourself. It's part of the sacrifice that you have to make. Well, but no, it's a sacrifice. Sacrifice is cutting something off. And it's a sacrifice. Hey, I'm heading towards my dream. I'm heading towards God's vision for my life and purpose for my life. Jesus said it, if you're not willing to leave your father, your mother, grab onto the plow and start moving forward, you're not worthy of this. It's achieving dreams is about sacrifice sometimes. Cutting things off. To sacrifice, it's to cut. This last one, let me get to this. The greater the feat you desire to achieve, the greater the mental preparation required for overcoming obstacles and persevering over the long haul. Wow, I want you to get that. The greater the feat that you desire to achieve, the greater the perseverance you're going to need, the persistence you're going to need to continue to move forward over the long haul. Wow. So if you have something really big you want to achieve, it's so important that you maintain this so that you can maintain the persistence. See, persistence creates prosperity, And passivity creates poverty. So you got to have this thing that I've got this big dream, but now I've got to maintain this confident state, this strong mental attitude that I'm not stopping. I'm going all the way up. I'm going to climb this mountain, and I'm going to put my stake on the top of this mountain. And I'm not going to let a negative environment stop me.